Welcome. This is Sharon Vornholt, and thanks so much for stopping by my site, Probate Investing Simplified. Let me ask you this. Are you looking for a way to find great deals and have a market virtually free of competition? Well, then you're in the right place. Probate investing has been my #1 source of leads for more than a decade. Now, in Probate Investing Simplified, here are some of the things you're going to learn. You're going to learn everything that you need to know about working in the niche of probates. You're going to learn how to become the go-to expert in your area. That is really huge. You're going to learn the terminology and how the probate process works. This is a big factor in your success. And you're going to learn how to market to these folks. So that's the 1,000-foot view of what you'll learn in Probate Investing Simplified. So let me tell you a little bit about how each module works. So we have 6 modules plus a bonus module, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And in module 1, you're going to learn all about the probate process. Now, there will be people that'll tell you you don't need to know this, but I disagree, because if you're going to show up as the expert, you need to know how to go out and have a conversation with these people. You need to be able to talk to them. You need to be able to understand their mindset. And that's huge when it comes to going through this whole process with them. And it is a process with them. Even though they have lost someone, I want you to understand clearly that there is the business of settling this estate that they have to attend to. So we're going to talk about the process. You're going to learn how that works and why you might want to create kind of a long runway when it comes to working with these people. Now, in Module 2, we're going to talk about getting the leads. And this is by far the biggest stumbling block for people, and this is why most people quit. In the U.S., there are over 3,300 counties, which means there are over 3,300 ways that each of these counties handles their leads. But I have some tips for you, and I can tell you some ways that you can find these leads. It's easier in some areas than in others. But most people simply will not stay in the game long enough to see the results. So that's where you're going to find a huge difference once you have an understanding of how to get the leads. Now, Module 3 is all about learning the lingo. Once again, there'll be people that'll tell you it's not really all that important, but if you're going to talk to these folks and they bring up a term that you don't know, then you're going to seem like you're not the expert when you've shown up there to buy their house. So do you need to be an attorney? Do you need to have that level of knowledge? Absolutely not. You do not, but you do need to have a basic understanding of how things work and of the terminology that's used in probate. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to teach you all of those and give you a handout so that you can have those to refer to. Now, in Module 4, we're going to talk all about marketing, and this is where the magic starts to happen. The marketing to probates is different than it is marketing to absentee owners or foreclosures or any other probate or any other niche in real estate. There's a different way of doing it. Once again, you need to understand the psychology of how you contact these people, what the preferred method is, and you'll learn the things that you absolutely should not do. So Module 4 is where you start to put it all together. The first 3 are like what I like to call the backstory. So once you get the basics down, then you can move forward with marketing to probates. Now in Module 5, we're going to have some tips for working with these sellers. At the end of the day, they do need to settle the estate. It's what the business of probate is all about. And what your role in that is that you are going to buy the house, which they're going to need to sell in almost every case to close the estate. So you're providing a valuable service. Now, it's not creepy. It's not odd. Once again, it's just business. And this business happens to involve a house where someone has passed away. Now, in Module 6, we're going to talk about tools, tips, and technology. And the big thing that's in that module is websites and some other tools that you absolutely must have. Folks, I have to tell you, you have to have a website. But we're going to talk about, do you need just a website that has a probate section, or do you need a probate website? We're going to talk about that, and you're going to learn what the answer to that question is. Now, I have some super awesome bonuses for you. The first bonus is the direct mail module. Now, this module will expand on what you're going to learn through the course, and it will also be something that you can use in the other niches that you would market to in real estate. It's just going to go over all the things we've talked about, and then have some other things that you can apply, whether you're marketing to absentee owners, foreclosures, whatever niche you want to market to. There are a lot of niches. But I have to tell you, I've worked in most of them, and probate is by far the most profitable niche I've ever personally worked in. So you're going to get a direct mail bonus module that's going to be, all your bonuses are going to be released the last week of the course along with Module 6. So why do I do it that way? So you don't jump ahead and just start nilly-willy sending out some letters. So we both know that would happen. So you're going to get a lot of direct mail resources. I'm going to give you a complete series of letters for investing purposes. So it's a series, direct mail is a campaign, and I'm going to give you all of those letters in the final week of the course, week 6. I'm also going to give you a set of letters should you happen to be a realtor. Now, this is a kind of a wide open niche if you're a real estate agent. Probably something like 85% of the houses that are the ones that are not distressed properties will be listed by an agent. So if you are an agent and you want to go at this strictly from an agent's perspective, then you'll have letters, all the letters that you'll need to work at it from that angle. You will also have a letter that you can send to attorneys, and I will tell you how to market to these folks, how to get them on your side and get them to pay attention to what you have to offer. And I'm going to give you some tips that maybe not what you want to hear, but about ways to get in front of them. But, attorneys can be a valuable resource when you're working in the field of probates. I've also got an awesome handout for you that is the comprehensive guide to working with virtual assistants. So we're going to talk about outsourcing and why you should be outsourcing a lot of this work rather than doing the day-to-day stuff yourself. Let's face it, you're an investor. Your strengths are finding deals and putting deals together. Your strengths are not in doing the clerical work and the scrubbing of lists and all of those sorts of things that also are part of the business of probate. And last but not least, you're going to know how, when you get to the end of this course, how to put together a marketing plan for probates. I'm going to tell you a simple but very effective way to stay on track with this, to get it done every month, because think about this for a second. Sadly, or, to your advantage, if you're a probate investor, you are never going to run out of leads. Every month, you're going to have new leads. So if you master this niche, this can be your number one source of leads for sure. So that's pretty much the course in a nutshell. One thing that, a couple of things you'll have. We'll have access to a private Facebook group forever. So as you grow your business, the questions you will have today will be very different than the ones you will have a year or two from now. So the group will always be there for you to interact with the other people that are on the same journey as you. And the other thing that you'll have is a weekly Q&A. We're going to have an ongoing Q&A pretty much every week. I may occasionally change it up a bit and do a Facebook Live or something along those lines, but you will have access to getting your questions answered in one form or another. Going forward, I don't see an end to this anytime in the foreseeable future. So as long as I'm here doing this, you will have access to the Q&A and to the Facebook group. Now, if you have any questions, just email me at sharon@sharonvornholt.com. And I hope to see you in the course. It's just going to be awesome.